Okay, hi everyone, welcome back, and in this update we are going to check out QNT's price charts and see what is happening. Specifically, I'm going to talk about the short-term price action, but before that we are going to talk about something very important, because in one of our previous videos someone left a very important comment saying something like, okay, all this stuff about QNT sounds absolutely amazing, but is it actually confirmed that Quant will be part of the future digital finance infrastructure? That is a great question, and it is precisely why in today's update we are going to answer that loud and clear. The answer is yes, it is absolutely officially confirmed. You see, last month, the European Central Bank, aka ECB, announced that QNT has been selected alongside almost 70 other players, including banks, merchants, fintech companies, startups, and also payment service providers to help build the infrastructure for the digital euro. Yep, that is right. QNT is not just talking now, it's actually building right now the backbone of one of the most important CBDC projects in the whole world. And here is the actual tweet from QNT account, and I think this was from a couple of days ago. They said, last month, the ECB announced that QNT, alongside almost 70 market participants, has been selected to work on ECB's digital euro project as a pioneer partner. And here is the situation. If you actually pay attention, this is kind of old news. You see, in this tweet, they actually refer you to this article, which came out when, as you can see, about 30 days ago. So it was already confirmed, but again, once more, we got more confirmation from Quant's official Twitter account, which is definitely good. So I think right now we can all safely say that that part is very clear. But now here is the real questions. Number one, what exactly is the digital euro? Number two, why is it such a big deal? Number three, what role QNT is playing in this massive transformation? We are going to break it all down step by step. So if you want to know what is going on in here, stick around because it is about to get really exciting. So first things first, let's tackle the most important question. What is actually digital euro? You see, the digital euro is basically the European Union's official plan to bring central bank money into the digital age, and it's not a cryptocurrency. It is also not like a stablecoin which is backed by a private company. No, the digital euro is a central bank digital currency, and you know this word is called a CBDC, which means that it would be issued and also backed directly by European Central Bank, just like traditional euro today. And the big idea in here is, I'm gonna say, quite simple. I think we can all agree that right now we are entering a digital economy. Cash is being used less and less. People are paying online with apps, with cards, and even with crypto. So ECB wants to basically make sure that there is a public, trusted, stable form of money that works in this new modern world. Now, here is what makes the digital euro kind of special. Number one, it's actually programmable, meaning with it, logic and also conditions can be embedded into money. Think, for example, like automatic payments, smart contracts, and instant compliance checks. Number two, it is secure and also trusted. It comes directly from the ECB, not a bank that can collapse and not a private company that might change its rules. Number three, it works across borders. You see, one of the goals is to make European payments much faster, cheaper, and more inclusive, even between different countries. And let's actually go on YouTube and watch the digital euro video that came out. I think it was about, yes, it was around a year ago.
The euro is much more than our single currency. For over 2 decades, it has helped bring stability and growth to Europe, embodying our shared values. But in an ever more digital world, our euro needs to evolve. Let's get ready for a digital euro. We will still have our banknotes and coins, but a digital euro would mean more choice at our fingertips, offering the highest privacy standards and making it accessible to everyone across the euro area. A digital euro would also strengthen Europe's autonomy in the digital world, making our payments sector more resilient. It could become a reality. Let's embrace the digital era with a digital euro.
Now I need you to remember this word autonomy because it is actually going to be a very important clue for us for why QNT is going to play a big part in developing digital euro infrastructure. But before all that, here is the important part. The digital euro is actually not meant to replace cash. No, it's meant to complement it. So people still can use physical money if they want, but now they are also going to have access to digital version that works online 24/7. And you need to think of it like having the euro, but it's actually the upgraded version, let's say version 2.0. And now that we understood what digital euro is, let's talk about something really important. One of its most powerful features is what we said it earlier, programmability. And they also said it in this announcement. And you might ask, well, okay, what does programmable money even mean? Well, it means you can embed logic into money itself. Like, for example, instead of money just sitting in your account and doing nothing, you can actually tell it what to do, when to do it, and under what conditions should it actually do something. And if you're confused, you have every single right to be. Let me make it a bit simpler. Let's say your salary hits your account at the end of the month. With programmable money, you can automatically tell it, okay, 1 hour after my salary arrives, pay my rent, pay my bills, and top up my savings, and do all of that without lifting even a finger. It is like setting rules inside the money. And that, I think we can all agree that it is kind of pretty cool. Now, here is where Quant actually comes in clutch. You see, QNT has been building exactly this kind of technology even before the ECB made programmability a key goal. It is called, you know the deal, because recently we had the big announcement, Quant Flow. So what is Quant Flow for those of you who are a new viewer? You see, Quant Flow is a powerful tool built on top of Overledger that allows businesses and institutions to create, you know what, programmable financial workflows with drag and drop simplicity. You can build complex sequences of financial actions, payments, conditional transfers, smart triggers, and deploy them across multiple blockchains or legacy systems, all without having to write a single line of code. And here is the kicker, and you need to pay full attention to this. The programmability goal of digital euro and the programmable infrastructure of Quant Flow, they absolutely overlap each other. That is not a coincidence. This kind of synergy is exactly why QNT was selected as a pioneer partner in the ECB's digital euro project, because they have already built the tools that Europe actually now needs. And from what we see, programmable payments and workflows could be one of the core areas where QNT contributes to building the next-gen financial system. Now, if that's not enough for you, don't worry, we are going to go even deeper. We talked about programmable money and how Quant Flow fits in that vision perfectly. That's all fine. But there is another major piece of the puzzle that makes QNT totally unique in the digital euro story. And that is, you guessed it right, Overledger Fusion. Now, I know it sounds quite technical, so let's just break it down real quick, again, in case that you haven't watched my previous video. Number one, what is Overledger Fusion? You see, at its core, Overledger Fusion is basically an interoperability protocol. It allows different blockchains, public and also private ones, to connect and communicate seamlessly. But here is the twist. It doesn't just connect chains. No, it also integrates with traditional financial systems, and you really have to think about that. The digital euro isn't just going to live on one blockchain. No, the ECB has been very clear. They want a system that can interact with multiple platforms, multiple networks, even traditional banks. And that is a huge challenge, because let's be honest, most blockchains do not talk to each other that well, and most of them do not play nicely with legacy systems either. But Overledger Fusion, that is literally its job. It acts like a universal translator, letting all these different networks speak the same language. So overall, whether the digital euro is going to end up using private chains or maybe public chains or even mix of both, Fusion can make them all work together. And here is the real kicker. I haven't really seen any other project that is able to deliver this level of secure, stable, enterprise-grade interoperability. No one at the moment is even close. So when you think about it, number one, ECB wants programmability, right? Well, okay, that means quant flow. Number two, ECB wants cross-platform interoperability. I think we can all agree on that. And that means what? Exactly. Overledger fusion. And that, my friends, is two of the biggest technical requirements already covered. And it's actually all coming from one company. What is its name? I want you to all say it together. It's called Quant. This isn't just hype anymore. This is tech meeting real world demand. And if that doesn't come from Quant's role in building the future of digital finance, I don't really know what does. So let's just wrap all this up. After everything we have seen, from official confirmation of quants being selected by the ECB to how quant flow enables programmability, and also how Overledger Fusion delivers the kind of interoperability the digital euro exactly needs, I think it is safe to assume that quant is absolutely going to play a key role in building the digital euro's infrastructure. And here is the part that really matters from us as investors. To access all this powerful tech, the only entry key is what? You know what? QNT token. That is pretty much it. No subscription, no hidden fees, just one token that unlocks every single thing. And let's not forget, QNT has a fixed supply of only 14.88 million tokens. No inflation and no mining. That is rarity in its purest form. And when you combine that with world-class fundamentals, growing adoption, and real-world utility in a European Central Bank project, it is not hard to imagine where this could go in the mid to long term. So overall, yes, you might need a little patience. That's absolutely fine. No arguments there. But in this case, I believe our patience is going to be rewarded big time. So for now, let's just hold tight. I believe big things are going to come for QNT. Now, let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. And I want to be very clear. What we just talked about was from an investor point of view that wants to hold its token for the mid to long term. Okay, this is very important to understand because we are going to now see what is going on in the live chart in like very short term, and the news may not be necessarily optimistic. Let's go on QNT's chart. Okay, so if you remember the last time that we talked about quant, I think we were somewhere around these areas, and I was saying if we see a rather strong move down in order to take all these lows, and I would say especially this low down here about, let's say, the $90 area, at that point we can say that it's going to be time for a correction structure down, possibly a deeper move down. However, that is absolutely not going to be a bearish sign at all. Why? Because even to about this point, I am 100% able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure on the upside. Let's just do this. And okay, this suggests number one, the final low is in, and number two, we may have soon the setup for a magnificent bull run. Why is that? You see, on a higher degree, this 5 wave on the upside is going to be into what? You probably know it if you are a regular viewer of the main channel. I'm not really sure why is it that my chart is loading so slowly. So, you know, apologies for that. This can be 5 wave up into a wave 1, correction for wave 2, and what's next? Huge move up into wave 3, 4, 5. And the reason that I believe this is going to be a big move is because in terms of Elliott's waves, wave 3 is usually a very strong and sharp move. Okay, that's why I believe in quant. No matter what is going to happen short term, overall we are absolutely on the right direction. Now let's zoom in more and see what is going on, maybe 30-minute time frame. Okay, so as you can see, at the moment we are kind of above this important level, and I am kind of a believer on a move on the upside in QNT. Why is that? Because I do think there's maybe a decent argument for this move being like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe in the short term like another move down into wave 5. But here's a question: what happens after a 5 wave down? You know the answer. We're gonna have one way or the other, whether we are bullish or bearish, a move on the upside. Now, if you want to say that around these areas we are going to have our final low for this whole correction structure, and I am wrong, and we're not going to have, for example, a deep move down, you know what? That's absolutely fair enough. I think you need to pay full attention to the shape of this move. Okay, this is going to be the key. The move up itself is honestly kind of predictable. It doesn't really matter. If we get a very strong move up, meaning a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 without a lot of overlapping of the waves. You know what? That's actually going to be a great sign suggesting maybe this is actually our final low. And for example, the 1-2 scenario, which is an extremely bullish one that we talked about in the previous videos, might be in play. But on the other hand, if you see a slow move up, meaning between our pullbacks, we're just constantly having overlapping of the waves, and this is going to take quite some time. But okay, what do you have? I'm gonna say probably a correction structure in here, and on a higher degree, what is going on? You have 5 wave down followed by a correction up. This is a bit of a bearish setup, suggesting the next move is going to be another one on the downside in order to take the lows in here. But I think we may end up going a bit lower than that, and for example, around this region between, let's say, $75 to about $80 area is not really that unrealistic to think that we are going to get them. Okay, even if we do that, I need you to understand that overall you are not going to see me flipping bearish in QNT. It's all just simply part of the bullish process, and you just need to be patient. And when you think about a fantastic project like this with excellent fundamentals and awesome tokenomics, then okay, I think we can all agree that in the mid to long term, our patience will be once more rewarded big time. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Quant's price chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time with your family and loved ones. Goodbye.